Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!
Welcome everyone to my first movie review on this brand new channel. I'll be right back with Nadia, a horror exclusive channel. I'm so excited to talk about today's movie pick, but before we get into it, please hit that like button, subscribe for all future horror content, and now let's get into my movie pick, Late Night with the Devil.
It is the live TV event that shocked a nation. Late Night with the Devil.
I was thrilled when I saw the trailer for Late Night with the Devil, directed by Cameron and Colin Cairnes, I believe, starring David Dastmalchian. Dastmalchian. I don't know why people have hard names, or it's just me. As Jack Delroy, a 70s late night TV broadcast host on the Down, and he's utilizing Halloween night as a last time to reach his audience and get those views up. So it's almost like an underdog story, but not really. And once you get into the lore, you'll see. You'll see.
For you. And
so as always, I try not to leave spoilers in my movie reviews because honestly, if it's a good movie like this one, I really want you to go see it. This movie in particular blends the tension of TV broadcast with the supernatural. I felt very immersed into the movie as if I was back in the 1970s on my little flower pattern couch, sitting there, knitting away a sweater, watching Night Owls, which was Jack Delroy's nighttime show. I also love the fact that this is taking place in Chicago. As a fellow Chicagoan, that's a great little nod to it. The first act is setting up Jack's history of becoming a TV host, the rise of him. It gives you a montage of different things going on in his life to get to this point, including, unfortunately, the death of his wife, but also his ties to the Bohemian Grove, which, if you're a conspiracy theorist or you just like to hear about weird stuff, that's a really good conspiracy rabbit hole you can go down. It's a men's only exclusive getaway vacation club, I guess, that's been around for 100 years, that has a ton of conspiracy around it. And I love that they added this lore to Jack's history, just giving you a taste in this montage with different news headlines. Because if you, again, know anything about the Bohemian Grove, it plays nicely into the second and third act.
Something very intense here.
perhaps, are we getting another message from?
Now, the film's setting is a late night TV show, as we all can see, but it's unique, and I feel like it has a very claustrophobic background that enhances the tension throughout each break. You get the show itself, where Jack is hosting, having guests on, and that's all in color, but then you get cut away to backstage viewing, which is done in black and white, which I really like the contrast of it.
The main stage checks on June and Lily.
You bastard. You ambushed me.
You didn't.
Throughout the whole night, we're introduced to a bunch of different guests and characters for this late night Halloween special. A medium, a former believer turned skeptic, Carmichael, which I think everybody was rooting for. He's one of those characters in any horror film you're like, oh, let's get him, I guess is the nicest way of putting it. And funny enough, he's actually based off a real life person called James Randi, who was a talented magician who became a famous psychic debunker, also had a bunch of money to give out if somebody proved him wrong. Never was. Nobody actually won the money, but it also reminds me a little bit about Houdini as well, because Houdini would do the same thing later in his life. And then lastly, there's parapsychologist Dr. June Ross Mitchell and Lily, who is a 13-year-old who is the sole survivor of a satanic mass suicide.
Monsieur Diabo.
Make no mistake. The master demands sacrifice.
Weird, right? It gets freakier. Along with his right-handed man, Gus, who kind of helps warm up the crowd, Jack interviews each guest, upping the stakes each time the TV goes to one of their commercial breaks. And one thing I really love about Gus, too, is him being a believer, whether it be Christianity, Catholic, doesn't really say, but he wears a cross underneath his suit. And as soon as things went haywire, instead of being a skeptic, they're like, nope, this is some diabolic mess going on. I'm out. And especially with towards the end when they utilize him for a very grotesque scene.
No, I can feel them. They're inside me. Jesus. No.
If I was him, I would have been out that door. I don't care about my movie career. I'm out. And then this concludes the third act of the movie, circling everything back into Jack's history with the Grove and the conspiracy of what happened there that no one may never know. Overall, I loved this movie. I loved the detail to the set design, the costumes. You can really tell there was a bunch of love put into this movie. The horror elements were properly executed, in my opinion, with the slow tension, building every single break, including the ridiculous third act, which I know is controversial. If you've seen it, please comment below what you thought of the movie. I think the movie blends the aspect of the supernatural with that conspiracy theory touch, again, circling back to the Bohemian Grove.
Jack. Dr. June thinks you're very, very handsome.
That's enough. Lily, I need you to come back to me now.
I wanted more of the lore, which you got little pieces of it throughout the movie, but it would have been great to see it expanded a little bit. But again, that might be the reason why the tension and the build-up worked so well. I love the blend of physical effects with CGI. I'm a big proponent, having worked as a special effects makeup artist, of doing physical effects and utilizing CGI as just kind of like a layup, helping in the background. And I love the mixture of it here. I believe this is a love letter to the bygone era of TV mixed with the horror genre.
Certain to challenge more than a few skeptics out there. Now, before I bring
Late Night with the Devil is a must watch, I believe, for any horror fan. It's definitely going to be put into my rotation during Halloween season, and that's how I know I really love a horror film, if I put it into my rotation during spooky season. I also regret not seeing it in theaters. This is definitely one I would have paid to go see in theaters. I was unfortunately unable to, but I highly recommend, if you want to stream it, purchase it, or if it's still playing around in theaters, go see it. You'll really enjoy it. Thank you all for watching my first horror movie review. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below on a horror film you would like me to review, as well as give me your opinion on Late Night with the Devil. Did you like it? Did you not? Did you like it up until the third act? Drop me a note in the comments below. Until next time, everybody, stay spooky.
Thank you, Mr. Delroy. I'm so glad you could join us too.